Hey guys, welcome back to Clash with Cory. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell. Right now, we're going to get into another video in the base identification series, one of my favorite series. I got 3 different bases and attacks that I'm going to show you. We're going to break it down, figure out why those were a good choice on those bases.
Nerf this!
We're going to start out with Dial's attack on number 38 here. Now, this is an Electron variation. With Electron, you can definitely change the spells that you want, depending on what you're trying to accomplish. You can bring anywhere from 1 to 2 or 3 clone spells. Dial's going to choose to bring 1 on this, and there's a reason I picked this base. I mean, I showed an Electron in our last base identification series. I'm aware of that. This is a different kind. The reason this one intrigued me was because I'm so used to getting the enemy queen down with my E-Dragon, with the Electron portion, that when I was watching this replay, I'm like, how did he pull this off? He's not getting the queen. So some of the things you want to look for in Electron is a high value area where you can get in your E-Dragon, clone those loons, and basically in that area you're going to usually take care of the queen, the enemy CC, if it can target air, if it even comes out. A lot of times you use it as a fresh attack, because if it's a hound, it won't even come out. Now, on this one, and you want to do that in an area that's not covered by sweepers, if possible, because sweepers can really screw up your blimp, and they can really screw up your E-Drag value, because he's so slow, and it really makes it tough. So you want to look for an area with no sweepers where you're going to get enemy CC, if it can target air, and the enemy queen. Now, on this one, he's got a high value area right in here that's not covered by any sweepers at all. And he's definitely going to get that CC drawn if it can target air, but he's not going to get the queen. So I was like, what is he doing? And then I thought, as I watched the attack, I'm like, oh yeah, you don't have to get the queen with the Electron if you can Sui for her. If you look at her range back here, her range goes well outside of the walls. So he's going to Sui his heroes on this back side of the base to get this enemy queen taken care of. He's going to do his Electron portion in here to carve out a nice chunk of the base to get some value and take care of that enemy CC if necessary. Now, because of the position of these sweepers right here, I know he was hoping to get those sweepers on a Chain Lightning. They have pretty low HP. All you'd have to do is catch one of them in a Chain Lightning ability. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way for him, but he's still able to pull it off. He's got plenty of spells for the back end because he chooses to just use that one clone spell. So with that, we're going to go ahead and play this and watch how he pulls it off. He does have a very nice Lalo to finish this one up. You know, since he's only using one clone spell with that opener, he's not going to get quite as much value as you would with a couple clone spells, depending on the base. And look at that, an enemy dragon pops out of that CC. That's what you kind of don't want to see, is an air targeting damage CC on an Electron, because it really slows it down. You want to be sure to have a supporting spell. If it's a fresh hit and you don't know what's in there, he chooses to use a poison this time, and that works out well. It slows down that dragon, does a little bit of damage. I usually like to use a freeze. Freeze can be a good utility spell, because if nothing pops out, if it's a hound, then you can still use it on the back end of a base for, a group of wizard towers and air defenses, or a sweeper. A lot of times you can get a freeze down on. But, a poison works too. It's just a matter of what you want to bring. But if it is fresh, you want to bring something to support your E-Drag in case it's an air targeting damage CC like dragons, witches, baby dragons. You want to either poison or freeze that. Now, just like we talked about, he's bringing in his suicide heroes on the backside of this base. Hopefully going to be able to grab an air defense. I'm not sure what other defenses were up there, but the important part is grabbing the enemy queen, and definitely needs some more value there as well. He hasn't got any air defenses down yet in this raid, so you want to grab at least one. Now his Lalo portion is coming in from the right. Very nice spread of the hounds there, dragging across, catching some of those red bombs, and catching the attention of that sweeper too, which is kind of nice. So he does have haste spells, getting them in past those sweepers. Very nicely placed haste spells as well. So got to get that sweeper down so he doesn't have to fight him anymore. Now he's coming in the backside of that other sweeper, so those shouldn't be an issue anymore. Now he did have a Skelly spell, so it looks like he was a little worried if he was going to be able to grab that queen on the backside or not. It would have been difficult to get her with just a Skelly spell since he did not have a rage left over, but he brought it just in case. And, you can also use that on the back end of a base as well. Sometimes you can distract the remaining wizard tower with it, or, if an air defense is the only thing left up, a Skelly spell will definitely take that down. But it doesn't end up being an issue for him at all. He's got plenty of loons left, plenty of cleanup up, plenty of pups, and of course he got down his minions, supporting cleanup minions in time as well, so not an issue. But the main reason I picked this one to do an Electron in this one as well is because I didn't even think about that. I would have been like, I can't really get the queen, I'm not going to Electron it. Dial knows that if you can Sui for the queen, that's fine. Then your Electron portion doesn't have to get her. So very nicely done by Dial there. Now we're going to take a look at number 36. Attack by Trevor. This is kind of a throwback attack. You saw a lot of these right after Siege Machines first came out. I'm going to pause it here so we can take a look at the base. It's going to be a Hog Wrecker attack. No golems, not a lot supporting, just 40 hogs. Sorry, my dog heard somebody at the door and started barking there. And 40 hogs. We don't see this very often anymore. But why is it a good fit for this base? All right. Now, if you look at the town hall right here, and where both heroes are, it's kind of on the back end of the base, so hard to get to with Wrecker, both those heroes, unless you come in at an angle, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's just going to bring his Wrecker in this little short area with both heroes right here, where he's going to be able to take care of the enemy CC, both enemy heroes. Now, it doesn't set up the best pathing for hogging through the rest of this base. Granted, if his queen would have got in and taken out like this Expo right here, it would have set up better pathing. But he's got 40 hogs and 4 heals. So a lot of times, if you can bring 40 frickin' hogs and 4 heals, sometimes you can make up for not the best pathing. So you'll see on this one, his queen is going to walk, not really help him out much inside the base. Luckily, it's a small enough CC that a poison is going to be able to take it down. But, he took care of the objectives. He took care of both heroes and got the defensive CC down. So, as you know, that makes hogs a good option for the back end. Normally, you want a little better pathing than what he's going to end up with on this. But, his queen walked. That wasn't part of the plan. He definitely wanted his queen to head in there, take out a couple. If he would have taken out a couple of those expos, all of a sudden, the pathing's not too shabby after that at all. Then we would end up with, a nice path, ring around the outside of this base. It gets a little wide in some areas, but once again, he's got 40 hogs and 4 heals. Man, heavy Tesla farm right there. Really heavy Tesla farm. So ends up having to burn a heal right off the get-go. Now, he does have supporting hogs coming in up from the top here. Very important. We talked about how this path gets a little too wide to be covered with 1 heal spell. So that's why he brought a second group up in there to take care of that, to thin out that path for the main group of hogs that's working their way through this base. Getting crazy. We got hogs going in 2 different directions. Definitely not ideal, but if you can bring 40 freaking hogs, sometimes you can pull it off. So, once again, this was super common attack that we saw right after Siege Machines came out when base building really hadn't caught up to the meta yet. But now that's kind of the first thing that people are looking to defend is like a hog wrecker because it was so big and so strong right off the get-go. But this guy overlooks on this one the fact that you can sometimes just bring in a wrecker from the side. You don't have to go straight on. You bring it in from the little side angle right there and still get both heroes and the enemy CC down. And Trevor's able to bring 40 hogs to get the rest. Very nice job. Base identification there by Trevor. Very nice triple. Doesn't have any ground skellies on this one either. And I don't know if Trevor knew that going into the battle. If he would have known that going in, he probably, would have brought a freeze or something like that instead of that second poison. But he is able to swag that second poison since there is no ground skellies that require it. Now we're going to go all the way up to 29. We're going to take a look at an attack. Honestly, I did an attack on this video recently, the Queen Charge Hog attack. This one is more specifically using that Wrecker entry to get your queen in there so you don't have to bring wall breakers. And it really, I don't know, sometimes it can kind of save a rage too. Just by the fact that that Wrecker's out in front doing a lot of tanking at some point. Now here, I'm going to pause right here and we're going to take a look at, first of all, his queen is walking. Well, we'll go this way, right here. She's walking this way. How does he know his queen's going to walk this way? And I'll show you. We'll zoom in right here. You see these double gaps between these buildings right here? Actually, between the archer tower and the cannon right here, we've got 3 spaces, including that wall. And then between this cannon and this elixir storage over here, we have 2 spaces. Now, those double spaces of dead space are really, really handy for determining which way your queen's going to walk. A lot of times, if there's only 1 space between, she could go left, she could go right. If you can find a spot where there's these double spaces in between, and then you can clear these outer trash buildings, which he's doing with the baby dragon, that really ensures that your queen's probably not going to step around that side. She's going to find closer buildings on her left. As you'll see, he's funneling the trash buildings on this side with a baby dragon, and he's not really funneling much at all on this side, not a lot. He uses a minion to kind of help keep his queen focused inside a little bit, but he's not trying to get rid of these buildings. He wants to leave these buildings up as breadcrumbs. A lot of YouTubers have said, I think Cleric Dragoon used to say that, leave the breadcrumbs for the queen to follow. So you combine this 3 space gap between this and this this 2 space gap between this and this, and you have a high likelihood that your queen is going to walk, this way around the base instead of going to the right. So very nice job identifying that. Looking for those double and triple space gaps can be a really effective way of determining which way your queen's going to walk. So that's the first thing that Sunshine sees on this base, the fact that he's going to be able to get his queen to walk reliably to the left. Even if she does go back for the cannon, she's probably still going to walk left because of that other double space. But because of that triple space, she's never even going to look at that cannon, and because of the fact that this building is still up over here, so she doesn't even look at the cannon. She walks left, no problem. Now, because she walks left, he's going to be able to access both heroes in here. Very nice. Another thing to look at, this base has double multi-target infernos. Now, you can do this attack on single target inferno bases all day long, but if it happens to have multi-targets, you can rest assured that those infernos are not going to be frying your queen. You do have to be careful about where your healers are, because they can take out healers with their longer range a lot more often than they used to be able to, but at least your queen is not going to get fried. At this point, he still hasn't used a rage yet. Now he finally uses a rage for those Valkyries that are coming out of that wall wrecker, and he's still got a rage left over. You notice there was a hound in that CC, and I guess, it's not ideal to queen charge a hound, but I will say you can do it. Definitely can do it. And it's a lot better to queen charge a hound than it is to kill squad a hound, because it's going to take your queen a little extra time to get through the hound on a queen charge, but with those healers, she's going to survive, and she's going to keep getting value. As you're going to see right here, she's going to get them all taken out, and then she's going to be able to step up and grab a few more defense as well in support of those hogs. So you got the several space gaps determining which way the queen was going to walk. Very important thing to look for on queen walks, determining her direction. You also had an area where you could break her in and take care of the enemy CC and both heroes, and establish some good pathing for hogs through the rest of this base. And with those 3 different things that we're looking at right there, it makes it a really good choice to do a queen charge hog attack. And because of the location of the town hall, of course, on this base, using that wall wrecker as part of that queen charge was also a very good option. Honestly, this is one of my favorite attacks right now. I don't use it very much at Town Hall 10. In fact, I would like to use it more at Town Hall 10, but I've been using this attack pretty much exclusively on my Town Hall 11. I absolutely love it. Sometimes you can even bring a couple rages and a jump to really, really get your queen, and sometimes those Valks and that wall wrecker really, really deep all the way to the other side of that base. I really love this attack right now. So I hope you guys liked the video. Hey, I did mention it before, but I'm going to mention it now. If you're still around for the end of this video, check out the details below my videos when you get a chance. I've got good resources for you in there. I have links to my Discord server if you want to hang out with me. That's the best place to get a hold of me, is on Discord. I have links to WHF's recruiting Discord server if you're interested in joining the WHF clan family. It's an amazing place to clash. I highly recommend it. Come work your way up through the ranks and hang out with me there too. Also got links to WHF's live streamers. If you want to see our CWL Invite Wars going down live, we have Dark Looters coming up this weekend. Give our live streamers a follow and you'll get notified when they're streaming. It's a really good time, I promise. And if you're still around at the very end of this video and you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. At the very least, at the most, turn on that notification bell too. I really appreciate it. You guys are amazing, and I'll see you in the next video.
Nerf this!